This is Gannon Meyer, a ManyChat expert and content strategist with over 160,000 followers on Instagram. He also works with some of the biggest creators in the industry and happens to be one of my friends. But when Gannon and I first met, he did not have a marketing funnel, and obviously I had to change that. Gannon is pretty much the perfect client because he has the audience and he has the offer, but what he didn't have was the marketing funnel to connect the two. What he wanted to be careful of was not overselling to his audience and making it feel super spammy towards this group of people he had worked so hard to build, but he also wanted to be able to drive revenue into his offer because he knew it was a really good thing for his audience. So Gannon messaged me on Slack and said, chances I can pay you for an hour of your time to help me with the funnel? And I said, of course. And this is the funnel that we mapped out over a quick 1-hour call that has ended up really supporting his creator business. So I'm going to share it with you and walk through what actually works within this funnel, and also a couple things that I would probably change if I was still optimizing it today, because one of my favorite things in funnels is that you get to optimize them over time. So I'm going to take you through Gannon's funnel and show you why this is actually one of my favorite funnels I'm working on with creators right now, and something I would probably recommend to you if you were selling a lower ticket offer. So every marketing funnel that you're going to see is going to have 4 parts: the top of funnel, the lead magnet, the conversion event, and the sales period. Sometimes those parts happen in that perfect order. And as you'll see in Gannon's funnel, there's actually some things that we're going to do that vary up that order to get the most out of revenue for his audience without feeling like we're spamming them all the time. So let's talk about top of funnel. Obviously, Gannon's top of funnel is Instagram. He's a ManyChat expert, so it's very on brand that his funnel runs with ManyChat. And what we found within his funnel is that if he sent people a standard ManyChat flow where he collected their email address and then delivered the freebie within ManyChat, those leads converted around 70%. The one problem with ManyChat, although you can capture their email address within the platform, you don't get them on a thank you page. And thank you pages are probably my favorite funnel tool maybe ever. So what we decided to do within Gannon's funnel was take leads onto an opt-in page instead of collecting their email address in ManyChat. And here is why. We wanted to get those leads onto the thank you page. We figured if we can take leads from Instagram into ManyChat and put them on a landing page to opt in for the free thing, what we could do was give them an offer on the thank you page that might make up for the lack of conversion we would see taking them off of the platform. But the key to doing that was making sure that even if we took them onto the page, conversion stayed high. Within ManyChat, we knew that we could get about 70% of people to opt in. So we wanted to get that page to be as close to 70% as possible, so we weren't losing people by taking them off platform. So here are the things that I love so much about Gannon's freebie opt-in page that allowed it to convert just over 60% when ManyChat alone converted at 70%. First of all, and this is very obvious, but something you would be surprised people forget on freebie opt-in pages, it says free so many times. Within the title where it says free, on the button it says free, we are reminding these people over and over that they do not have to pay for this thing. It is really important on freebie opt-in pages that you make it so obvious it's free. We're really used to spending money on things, and we want to make sure that they know they don't have to give us anything to get this except for their email address. We also show a mock-up on this opt-in page that it is a video. Video lead magnets are doing amazing in 2026, and I would strongly recommend that if you have a lead magnet in your business, you don't just deliver a PDF. Anybody can get a PDF or information alone using AI. You deliver it with a video to add this kind of human component where you're walking them through the freebie, and you're able to give them something that they wouldn't get just with AI alone. So we show in the mockup that it's going to be a video of Gannon delivering this information to you, which makes it a lot more valuable. We also only collect first name and email. We don't have to collect their last name in the form to keep the opt-in fields really low, but we do actually collect a drop down of what the problem is that they're experiencing the most on ManyChat. And the reason we decided to do that, even though it might decrease conversions slightly, was for 2 reasons. Number one, if we wanted to segment leads to a unique offer on the thank you page, we could take them to a unique offer based on how they replied to that question. So this would work really well if you had something that's for people who are advanced versus people who are beginners. The other thing it allows us to do is take that information and use liquid code within ConvertKit so that based on what the person's problem is, we can give them unique email messaging that speaks directly to that problem. So for those two reasons, it was actually very worth it to add that extra form field and risk slightly lower conversion for the sake of getting that really valuable information. The other thing that I love about this page is it is only one section. So you do not have to scroll at all to get more information. It's really tempting for people on lead magnet opt-in pages to add about you and logos of companies you've worked with and all of this extra information about the freebie. We want it to be as short and sweet as possible. Just one section where you've got a clear headline, make it very obvious it's free, have a mock-up, a very simple form, and then a short blurb about the lead magnet that passes the grunt test, which is a test by StoryBrand that I absolutely love, that says, what is the offer? How do I get it? How does it make my life better? So if we can answer that within that blurb, that is all you need. You do not need more sections on this page. Now, I told you before that the thank you page was the whole reason we tested this flow. What we found out was that 60% of leads who hit that opt-in page ended up opting in for the lead magnet compared to 70% in ManyChat alone. So we were losing 10% of leads. Was it worth it to get them on this thank you page? My feeling, and the data supports that the answer is yes. So after they opted in for that form, we took them to a thank you page that not only delivered the lead magnet with the video embedded on that page, but also offered them $100 off Gannon's next offer, which was a low-ticket ManyChat template pack. This page has a couple things that I want to draw your attention to. The first is this banner that is static on scroll. If you hang out here long enough, you will hear me say this a million times, but if you do not have a button in the upper right of your sales page that is static on scroll and scrolls with the whole page so that at any point somebody can click a button to check out, literally stop what you're doing and go add that to your page right now. It is the most low-hanging fruit, simple thing you can do to make sure that at any point when someone's reading your sales page, if a piece of copy resonates with them, they can click the button and check out. So this page has that button that scrolls the entire page. That button is on a bar that is bright red. It is very intentionally ugly. It is not at all Gannon's brand colors, but it draws your attention to it so that you cannot miss the text on that bar. The text on that bar tells you that you have just unlocked a limited time offer. It has a countdown timer that is counting down to when that offer expires. And so as you're sitting there on that page watching the video of Gannon delivering this free training, you're able to see at multiple different points on the page that you have unlocked something special, and there is a sense of urgency to go ahead and claim it right then and there. What's also really interesting about this page is that the video loads partially below the fold, and that is intentional. You have to scroll slightly to watch the whole video and get it fully in your computer screen. And by scrolling, you are able to see the rest of the page, and that will likely draw your interest. The video is only minutes long. You are stuck there, hanging out on that page, seeing the offer, and deciding if you want to take a next step. The last thing I want to draw your attention to within this funnel is that if somebody, for some reason, does not take action on that thank you page, you have captured their email, and so you can follow up with them. So that's something that we were able to do with Gannon's funnel, is if somebody doesn't convert on that page, we're able to send them a series of emails reminding them about the offer, that the bonus is expiring, that the discount is expiring, and that they should go ahead and take action then. So Gannon has two sides of his business. He has a side where he's delivering ManyChat support to creators one-to-one, and he has group programs where he's teaching people at scale how to grow on ManyChat. And one of Gannon's goals for 2026 is to continue growing that side of the business because obviously it runs with a lot less of his time. So let's put some math to this funnel to actually see what would be possible if he drove really light traffic into it every single month. We know the freebie opt-in page converts at about 60%. So if Gannon could get 1,000 people to hit that freebie opt-in page every single month, he'd have about 600 people opt in for the freebie. Now, let's say about 6% of those people who opt in for the freebie end up joining the $97 offer on the thank you page. That would mean that every month Gannon will make about 36 sales, which translates to just over $3,400 in revenue within this funnel. And all he had to do was drive traffic to a freebie. That is really simple, small numbers for a creator who has over 160,000 followers on Instagram. The reason why I'm telling you this is because a lot of creators who have a big audience are really afraid of selling to them. So they end up not making nearly as much revenue as they could make purely because they're afraid to talk about their offer. And I get it. You have worked really hard to build this audience. You don't want to burn them out. But what I love about this funnel we created for Gannon is that he's able to just talk about a free thing and then position an offer as added value when you're already consuming the free thing. So Gannon does not have to sell on his Instagram if he doesn't want to. He's just able to promote a free download, and you're 60% likely to opt in for that and about 6% likely to buy the next step. And just by doing that, he's added another $3,400 to his business every single month. And he didn't have to sell to you at all. So that is why I will always say, if you can get me leads into the funnel, I can structure a funnel that feels like a true private world for you to sell in that doesn't burn out your audience and get you sales. So if you want to build a funnel like this in your own business or just hear more funnel breakdowns like this is a segment I'm going to be doing here on YouTube. I would love if you'd subscribe, and I'll share you more funnels that I'm working on in real time with their conversion rates and what's working. But this is a really good one for you to test if you have a free thing into a low ticket offer. Thank you so much for your time, and like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.